Hi, boys and girls. Well, today's story is Too Many Pumpkins, and it's written by Linda White, and it's illustrated by Megan Lloyd. So Linda White, she wrote the words. That makes her the author. And Megan Lloyd, she drew some awesome pictures. So that makes her the illustrator. And of course, my book has a front cover, a back cover, with lots of pumpkins on it, I noticed. That looks like too many pumpkins. Yeah, I think this lady has a problem. I think she has too many pumpkins. This book has something that we haven't seen yet on many of our books, and that's called a dust cover. So the dust cover, or the jacket, provides protection for the book. Sometimes it can make the book a little bit slippery to hold, but other than that, the dust jacket is on the book. All right, let's find out what kind of problem it is to have too many pumpkins. Oh, here's our title page. Every year at springtime, Rebecca Estelle planted just enough seeds in her garden to grow vegetables for the long winter. She planted carrots and beans and tomatoes and peas, corn and rutabagas. She grew a little bit of everything except pumpkins. Rebecca Estelle hated pumpkins. When she was a little girl, money had been scarce. For an entire month, all there had been to eat were pumpkins. Stewed pumpkins, mashed pumpkins, rotten pumpkins, breakfast pumpkins, boiled pumpkins, stewed pumpkins, mashed pumpkins, lunch pumpkins, dinner pumpkins. Enough with the pumpkins! Well, when things finally improved and there was more money to buy food, Rebecca Estelle decided she would never, ever eat pumpkins again, or even look at one. Not ever. And she didn't. So there's our friend Rebecca Estelle planting in the garden. I see a lot of pumpkin products in this page here. There's stewed pie, boiled, mashed, pumpkin bread, pumpkin muffins, pumpkin cake, more pumpkin muffins, pumpkin pie, pumpkin soup. There's a lot of different things to cook and do with pumpkins. And she said she would never eat them again until... One autumn day, we know that's the scientific word for fall. Long after Rebecca Estelle's hair had turned snowy white, she was raking the leaves that fell each fall from her black walnut tree, and her cat, Esmeralda, was scattering them just as quickly. All of a sudden, the pumpkin truck passed by. So we've got our pumpkin truck. Oh, she heard it coming all right, and she knew what it was. It rumbled by at harvest time every year. Harvest. Oh, that's when I collect the food. That's right. She turned her back and concentrated on picking up the last fallen leaf. She managed to ignore the truck. That means she didn't pay it any attention until... Splat! An enormous pumpkin tumbled off the truck and smashed into slimy orange smithereens all over the edge of her yard. "Come back here! Come and get this pumpkin!" she yelled. But the driver sped away. Ew, we know from opening up and dissecting a pumpkin that there's a lot of slimy stuff in there. I don't think Rebecca Estelle looked very happy about this at all. Well, I won't touch it, Rebecca Estelle insisted, getting her shovel from the barn. And I won't look at it, she added as she shoveled dirt on top of the pumpkin pieces. I won't think about that pumpkin ever again, she declared. And she didn't until. Now, hang on, scientists. We know that if we have seeds on the ground and you put a little bit of dirt over the top of it, what's going to happen? Think about what a plant needs. She covered those seeds. Spring. When Rebecca Estelle was admiring the new sprouts in her garden, she noticed Esmeralda playing in some big green leaves. Growing at the edge of the yard. How curious, she said, going over to inspect them. I didn't plant anything there. No, I'm pretty sure I didn't. Light bulb. Then Rebecca Estelle remembered the pumpkin truck and the slimy pumpkin smithereens. Pumpkins? She said in disgust. Come out of there, Esmeralda. I will not water those plants. I will not tend to them. I will ignore them and they will die. So without any water, and if she doesn't take care of them and weed them or take the sun or anything, then by rights those plants should die. She picked up Esmeralda and stomped inside. But a week later, when Rebecca Estelle peered out her window, she saw the vines had grown. So without her even taking care of them, they managed to get the water they needed, the sunlight they needed. She tramped out to the barn, got her garden tools, and went to work on the pumpkin vines. She cut and dug until not one pumpkin vine was left growing. There, that will get rid of those pumpkins. She smiled and went back inside. But the next week, when she was weeding the garden, she noticed the pumpkin vines had grown back. The only thing to do is to ignore them. They won't grow if I don't take care of them, she muttered. So rain or shine, all spring and summer, she never looked out the front window. She used only the back door, and she never even glanced towards where the vines were growing. Neither did Esmeralda. So Rebecca Estelle, the old lady, and Esmeralda the cat are not even paying any attention to these vines. They're even going out the back door instead of the front door, so they don't even have to look at them. Rebecca Estelle ignored the vines so well that in time she forgot why she wasn't using the front door. Until one autumn day when she and Esmeralda went to rake the leaves that fell each fall from the black walnut tree at the front of the house. There they go, heading towards the front of the house. They haven't been there in a long time. Not for all of that spring. Not for all of that summer. Rain or shine. Pumpkins! Rebecca Estelle shrieked. Pumpkin vines had twined under the bushes, over the bird bath, through the porch rails and onto the rocking chair. The entire yard was a sea of plump, round pumpkins. Rebecca Estelle could no longer ignore them. She plopped down on the pumpkin nearest her, putting her hands over her face. Whatever will I do, Esmeralda, she cried. How will I get rid of this many pumpkins? Well, she has a problem. This is too many pumpkins for one little person. My goodness, what on earth can she do with that many pumpkins? That is a problem. She thought and she thought. Her mind went back to all the pumpkins she had eaten as a young girl when pumpkins was the only food that her family had. I'm beginning to think that maybe she's thinking of a way to try and solve her problem. What do you think she'll do to solve her problem? Well, we can't let them stay here, she told Esmeralda. Some people might need these pumpkins, and I suppose there are folks just crazy enough to like them. We'll give them away. She marched off to get her wheelbarrow. Rebecca Estelle struggled to lift the first pumpkin, then the second, and the third. She huffed and she puffed as she wheeled the loaded wheelbarrow into the lane. Oh, Esmeralda, I'm too tired to deliver these heavy pumpkins now, Rebecca Estelle grumbled. She mopped her brow with her apron and wondered what to do next. Perhaps if I make them into pies, they will be easier to deliver. Oh, such a nuisance! So, she thought one way to solve her problem would be to load them in a wheelbarrow and deliver them to other people, and that would get rid of them. It was a nice try, but the pumpkins are too heavy, and there's too many. So now she's decided she'll make pumpkin pie. So she went to work. She scooped the slimy seeds out of the pumpkins and cut away the shells. After she boiled the pumpkin meat, she mixed it with eggs, milk, sugar, flour, cinnamon, nutmeg, and cloves to make rich pies. Then Rebecca Estelle made pumpkin tarts, pumpkin muffins, pumpkin cakes, pumpkin bread, pumpkin pudding, pumpkin cookies, until, wow, she's making a lot of products, a lot of goods for people to be able to have. She's making a lot of things. And I noticed she used some ingredients to help her make those pies. She's making them and making them until maybe she uses up all the pumpkins? Let's take a look. Pumpkin dishes spilled out of every cupboard, drawer, and cubbyhole, and the seeds were a mountain in the corner. Oh, well, that's the first batch, Rebecca Estelle said, dusting her floury hands. Now, to deliver them. She put the wheelbarrow outside the kitchen door and loaded in the pumpkin treats. When it was full, just the thought of delivering all those pumpkin dishes made Rebecca Estelle tired. Oh, if only the people would come here, she said. Light bulb. Then she had an idea. Rebecca Estelle whirled around and hurried back into the house for a kitchen knife. This should get the people to come, Rebecca Estelle cried. I wonder what she's going to do to try and solve her next problem. The next problem was how to get all the people to come to the house to get the pumpkin products instead of her having to deliver them. She's still got a lot of pumpkins left, so I wonder what she's going to do. She's doing a good idea of thinking of ways to solve her problems. She took her knife and sat in the middle of the pumpkin patch. She carved a smiling face on a round pumpkin, a scary snaggletooth face on a tall pumpkin, and a boo on a short and squat pumpkin. She was so busy carving pumpkins, she hardly noticed how dark it was getting. And when she could no longer see, she went to the shelf on the back porch and got a sack of candles she kept for emergencies. Well, if this doesn't get the people to come here, we'll have to deliver them all ourselves, she muttered to Esmeralda. So she's being very busy. She's worked hard. I wonder what her plan is to get the people. We noticed she's done a lot of carving. She's got some candles. I see what she's done. Do you see what she's done? How do you think that will make the people come? Rebecca Estelle peered into the darkness. That means she looked really hard. For a long time. She didn't see anything, and still she watched. Until finally she saw a light. Faint at first, then brighter, and then she noticed more lights bobbing through the night. "Here they come!" she shouted. "Esmeralda, let's heat up some apple cider." Who do you think is coming? And if you look really carefully over here, you can see the lights she's talking about. I wonder who it is. Who do you think is coming? And why do you think they're coming? Young and old, everyone in the town came. "Rebecca Estelle, we thought you hated pumpkins," they said. "We saw your jack-o'-lanterns from the end of the road, and we came to take a closer look." "I was hoping you would," said Rebecca Estelle. "Where did you find all of these pumpkins?" people asked. "I came across them by accident," said Rebecca Estelle, smiling. "Would you like some pumpkin pie?" "There's plenty." She winked at Esmeralda. Everyone enjoyed the pumpkin pie and the cider, and they had a really good time. So did Rebecca Estelle. And when they were ready to go home, she made sure each carried a jack-o'-lantern, a bag of seeds for roasting, and a pumpkin treat. Rebecca Estelle gave everything away, everything that reminded her of the pumpkins she always hated. So she's had all of these people come to her house. Now she doesn't have to deliver them. What a great way to solve your problem, Rebecca Estelle. And even when they've had some pumpkin treats at her house, she's still giving things away to get rid of more and more of those pumpkins and pumpkin products. Until all that remained was just one handful of seeds. Those she tucked snugly into her pocket, where they would be safe until planting time next spring. What? Wait a minute. She saved some seeds? She's going to plant some pumpkins? Why would she do that? I wonder. At first, she had a problem of too many pumpkins, and now she's saving some seeds? What would make her do that? I wonder, good readers, what would make Rebecca Estelle and Esmeralda save some seeds? We'll have to find out. All right, readers, scroll on down and let's find out what our assignments are for today.